In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on how you can practice octaves on the violin. Stick around to the end of the video. You don't want to miss this. Hi violinists of YouTube. My name is Eric. I'm a violinist. I do a lot of violin content on my YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications. That way you get notified for when new videos come out. It also helps me out to provide more videos for you. All right, now octaves. Octaves can be complicated because you're doing a lot of reaching with the fingers, and you're trying to reshape the hand in a certain way so that way you can get octaves in tune. So the question I'm going to ask today for you, how do we play octaves and how do we play octaves in tune? I want to start off with a simple open string octave. Let's start with the G. That is our G octave. How do we listen and how do we become more familiar with like the intonation and the sound waves between the two notes? So let's do an example. I'm going to play an in tune octave on the open G and see if you can determine whether or not I'm playing this part of the octave in tune. Obviously it's not in tune, right? There's a clear dissonance. So that's something that I want you to kind of take home with you after this video, and I want you to practice after this video. An octave is a perfect interval. In Western classical music, we have perfect fourths, perfect fifths, and perfect octaves. Octaves go into that perfect interval category where the moment you shift the finger or you shift the note or one of the notes in the wrong location, then it's going to be out of tune, obviously. And of course on the violin we have the G octave, we have the D octave, and we also have the A octave. Now Eric, I know about open string octaves, but how do I play an octave in tune with the first and fourth finger? Well, let me tell you. So over here we're going to try, let's do an E octave. So it'll be first finger on the D string and fourth finger on the A string. And we clearly know that those are E's on our violin. And we have an open E, of course. So we have the first finger. Let's use that open E as our reference. So we need to listen for that E. And then we're going to use the first finger. And see if you can match that first finger with the open E. And once you get more comfortable with that, then we want to add the fourth finger. And see if you can play those notes together. And if you play correctly, you should have the sound waves lining up accordingly. So again, this is the fourth finger and the first finger. It should be a nice, clear wave. It should be no disruption. There should be no dissonance like this. Or yeah, definitely that's really out of tune. But anyways, so we want those intervals, the perfect octaves, to be completely perfect. There shouldn't be any dissonance involved. Once we get to like thirds and sixths and other intervals like tenths and beyond, those require like a different kind of listening skill. So hopefully maybe if you want me to do those kinds of videos, let me hear from you in the comment section below. That is how you tune the octave, but how do we practice octaves? So the clearest way is to play them in a scale. So let's see if we can just do a G major scale, and we're going to use one octave. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the bottom note first, and I'm going to try to tune the upper note with the bottom note. So I'm going to use each separate bows, and then I'm going to tune it, and then the same thing with the next octave. First finger, fourth finger, and then tune it. And then we go up again. One more time. Then again. You might have noticed that I practice the octave slowly so that way my ear can register the waves and I could really hear if there's going to be a dissonance. And thankfully there weren't. So you want to practice from the bottom note, check in with the upper note, and then that's how I would do the octave. Let's say if I'm starting on the G and I'm having a tough time tuning it. I would not go to the next note unless you have that previous octave in tune. So we have the G octave, and then, so that was obviously a little bit out of tune. If you heard it, the first finger was a little off, so I'm gonna go back to the third finger. I even had to fix that third finger. And then I really try to hear for that octave in my ear, so that way I can place the first and fourth finger in the right place. So it was a little sharp by a couple cents, but that is how you practice octaves. And honestly, your journey with intonation is everlasting. It's not going to be like, okay, I'm going to have perfect intonation tomorrow. Even to this day, a lot of professionals, even myself, work on intonation every single day through scales, etudes, and whatnot. It's really beneficial for you to practice octaves in the form of a scale. And if you're clever, you would practice these while you have a metronome on. So that way you're kind of hitting two birds with one stone. You're practicing your intonation, but you're also having a metronome click in the background to really help you. And that's why I want to help recommend Soundbrenner app. And the Soundbrenner app is a really cool app. It's something that I use all the time. I recommend all my students get the Soundbrenner app. And Soundbrenner also has a wrist watch that you can kind of tap on your wrist, and it syncs with the app in your phone. And I'm proud to give all my viewers 20% off the Soundbrenner. I'm gonna leave a code and affiliate link down below, so that way you can get yourself a Soundbrenner metronome. I hope that helps you with octaves, and leave a comment down below. How do you practice octaves? I'm really curious to know what your thoughts are. If you're a teacher, I want to know. Let's get this conversation going. And thank you for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications. That way you get notified for when new videos come out. It helps out the channel a lot, and I really, really appreciate your support. Be sure to check out some other videos that I have on the channel, and I hope you'll be able to enjoy those. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.